Hello everyone, it's Leia and I'm back with a review of the Les Vampires Oracle cards by Lucy Cavendish, who authored the guidebook, and Jasmine Becket-Griffith, who did the artwork. So Lucy Cavendish is one of the figures in the metaphysical field whose work I very much enjoy. I have almost all of her other Oracle decks, and this is the third one she and Jasmine Becket-Griffith have collaborated on. If you like the artwork, you can see a whole lot more and even order some prints at Jasmine Becket-Griffith's website, strangeling.com. So the two other decks that Lucy and Jasmine have worked on are Oracle of Shadows and Light and Oracle of the Shapeshifters. I have the US version because those two also have an Australian version. The Australian versions are all published by Blue Angel. My copy of Les Vampires, though, is published by Blue Angel, even though I live in the US. While those two other decks to me are beautiful, right now, at this moment that I am recording this video, I can say that I have connected the most with Les Vampires. It has so much more depth, in my opinion, and it addresses adults more than the other two decks do. Not that teens or younger people wouldn't benefit from it, but its focus is on the dark night of the soul, in particular making your way through that period in your life, which I would say adults are more likely to be doing than younger people. Although of course we're all different, so some younger people could very well have gone through a dark night of the soul, whereas some grown-ups might still not really have much of an idea what it's about at this point in their lives. And that right there explains why vampires are the perfect guides on this particular journey. They've been in darkness and know what it's like to navigate through it, so the vampires in this deck serve as way showers, I would say. For anyone who's going through a difficult time, be it in a relationship, involving work, or your professional life, or with just life in general, these cards, in my experience, are a great oracle. I'll also take a moment here to acknowledge any fears that some of you might have when it comes to working with vampires. While there are certainly those known for draining humans of their lifeblood so that the vampires may live, those you'll meet in these cards serve the purpose of being guardians. They help, for one, with people and situations that drain your life force, which you'll read in the guidebook should you feel called to get this deck. So I feel like I waited quite a while to get these cards. I had them on pre-order and I couldn't wait for them to be released, and I got them the moment they were available here in the US. The box is typical of a lot of Blue Angel boxes. It's sturdy, and that's what the back looks like. And I want to show you the inside of the box because I love that blue lining the inside. I associate it with a lavish life, and it looks so old school to me. I just really like that. There are 44 Oracle cards in this kit, and this is what the back looks like. The texture is shiny, as I'm sure you can see the camera reflected right back at you. And this is actually part of a painting that is on one of my favorite cards, which I'll show you in a few moments. Cardstock is good too. It's thick. And size-wise, if you're familiar with Hay House Oracle cards, let me show you what the size of a typical Hay House box is like compared to Les Vampires. So it's much bigger, considerably at least. And so are the cards. So there's Les Vampires again, and this is one of Doreen Virtue's cards. And then in the very front of the cards, there is a thin border all around, so it doesn't eat up a lot of space. It gives the artwork lots of room. Now let's go to the guidebook. This is what it looks like. And it's not as thick as some of the other ones that Lucy has written. The intro is shorter, I would say, but I still really enjoyed it. In the beginning of the guidebook, there are 3 spreads that you can use if you're just a beginner or if you want to add them to the spreads that you already currently use. And as for the card meanings, they get a couple of pages or a little over 2 pages depending on which card it is. And there is a black and white image of each card in the guidebook. That way you have an idea which one it is if you read your guidebook on the go. And I also just want to say, if you do reversals, the guidebook does give meanings for those. So just to give you an idea what a really thick guidebook from Lucy looks like, here's one example. This is for the Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle cards. See, it's really meaty. So if you love the huge guidebooks that come with some of these Oracle decks, this is one example of a really substantial guidebook that Lucy has written. So finally, let's take a look at the artwork on the cards. I'm going to show you my most favorite ones. Here is The Past a Prison, and I really love this because it's associated with Miss Havisham in Great Expectations. You know, the story by Charles Dickens. So it's just perfect. It illustrates clearly how we can be so caught up in the past that we're so bitter and we don't even enjoy the present anymore. And then there is Seduction, which is on the cover of the box. I also like Faith. And part of the reason is her hairstyle to me is just so adorable. And then we also have Hope. This card shows me so clearly how there's always a light, even when we are in a very dark place in life. And then there's Pray. I know that the thought of being stalked is creepy, but I just really like the artwork on this one. And then there's also Thirst, which to me is awesome because it's a close-up and you can see the blood at the corner of her mouth. So it just illustrates the point very clearly. I also want to show you Knowledge. And I really relate with this card because I have so very many books and I just love learning and reading. If I were a vampire, that's what I would do. I would just take all that time to learn and read and absorb myself in all that knowledge. Last but not least of my favorite cards is Call for Help. I resonate with this, with its message, because I have felt alone so very many times, and this just speaks to me and reminds me that I don't have to do things alone. I have help. And then just really quickly, I can show you the artwork on some of the other cards as well. That way you'll get more of an idea what to expect if you do get this deck. I want to mention too, by the way, that there are quite a few animals in these pictures. There are so many wolves for one, and you'll also see cats, and there are birds. But wolves really are what stand out to me. So which images are you liking so far? And that's it for my review of Les Vampires by Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Becket-Griffith. I really do hope that they do another collaboration. I've heard that there was at least another one, so if that's the case, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had lots of fun putting this video together for you. If you liked these cards, I will probably be using them soon in a weekly oracle reading. You know, the one where I give messages for the week using an oracle deck. So I'll be back really soon. If you enjoyed this, remember to subscribe and to join me on Facebook as well. Thank you, and bye for now.